Autumn's Embrace, Chapter 5. Willow Creek was a town that lived for its traditions, and none were more cherished than the annual Autumn Harvest Festival. As Elliot approached the town square, he could feel the energy in the air, children's laughter, the scent of cinnamon and pumpkin wafting from vendor stalls, and the vibrant hum of conversation as families and friends gathered to celebrate the season. It seemed that every inch of the town had been transformed into a celebration of autumn, and Elliot couldn't help but be swept up in the magic of it all. The square was alive with activity. Booths lined the streets, displaying handmade crafts, fresh baked goods, and autumn decorations. Everything from intricately carved wooden pumpkins to homemade jams and preserves. Local artists were set up at small tables, painting and sketching the vibrant fall scenery that framed the town in hues of red, orange, and gold. At one end of the square, a large banner proudly proclaimed Willow Creek Harvest Festival, fluttering gently in the breeze. Elliot smiled to himself as he wandered past the stalls, taking in the sights and smells. It was as if the entire town had come together to create this cozy, inviting atmosphere. The festival felt like the very essence of small town life, simple, genuine, and full of warmth. It was the kind of thing that didn't exist in the city, where events were flashy, fast-paced, and often devoid of the personal touch that was so evident here. As he made his way through the crowd, Elliot spotted Lily, standing near a booth adorned with brightly colored leaves and small pumpkins, surrounded by a group of children. She was crouched down, patiently helping a little girl weave together strands of leaves into crowns, her soft laughter mingling with the kids' excited chatter. The sight made Elliot pause for a moment, watching as Lily effortlessly interacted with the children, her kindness and joy radiating in everything she did. She looked up and spotted him, her face lighting up with a smile. "Elliot," she called, waving him over. He made his way through the crowd toward her, feeling a warmth spread through his chest that had nothing to do with the brisk autumn air. "Hey, Lily," he greeted her, smiling as he took in the scene. "Looks like you've got your hands full." Lily laughed, standing up and dusting off her hands. "You could say that. The kids love the festival. They wait all year for this. I'm helping them make leaf crowns for the parade later. Care to join in?" Elliot glanced at the children, who were all eagerly working on their crowns, some more successful than others. He chuckled. "I'm not sure I have the artistic skills for that." "Oh, come on," Lily teased, nudging him playfully. "It's not that hard. Besides, I think the kids would love to have you help." Before Elliot could respond, a small boy tugged at his sleeve, looking up at him with wide eyes. "Can you help me make a crown?" he asked, holding out a handful of colorful leaves. Ellie couldn't say no to that. He crouched down beside the boy, taking the leaves from him and trying to mimic what the others were doing. "Sure thing," he said, smiling as he attempted to weave the leaves together. It wasn't long before Lily joined him, showing him how to properly weave the stems to hold the crown together. "There you go," she said, her fingers brushing against his as she guided him. "Now just tuck that last leaf in and you're done." Elliot looked down at the crown they had made together, a haphazard but colorful creation that the boy seemed to think was the greatest thing he had ever seen. "Thanks, mister," the boy exclaimed before running off to join his friends. "You're a natural," Lily said with a grin, standing up beside him. Elliot shook his head, still smiling. "I wouldn't go that far, but I have to admit this is kind of fun." "It is," Lily agreed, her eyes sparkling with happiness. "That's what I love about this festival. It brings everyone together, young and old, to celebrate the seasons and enjoy the simple things." They spent the next hour together, moving from booth to booth, as Lily introduced him to more of the townspeople. There was the elderly couple who sold hand-knitted scarves and hats every year, the local baker with her table piled high with pies and cookies, and the farmer who brought fresh apples and cider from his orchard. Each person greeted Lily like an old friend, and Elliot found himself included in their warm welcomes, even if he was still the newcomer. "Everyone knows everyone around here," Lily said with a laugh as they walked toward the cider booth. "It's one of the things I love about this town. No one's a stranger for long." Elliot nodded, feeling that sense of community growing stronger with each interaction. He had always thought of small towns as insular, maybe even a little too close-knit for someone like him who was used to the anonymity of the city. But Willow Creek was different. It wasn't about everyone knowing your business. It was about everyone looking out for each other, about being part of something bigger than yourself. They stopped at the cider booth where Lily ordered 2 cups of hot apple cider, handing one to Elliot with a smile. "This is the best part of the festival," she said, raising her cup. "Cheers!" "Cheers," Elliot echoed, lifting his cup to hers before taking a sip. The cider was sweet and spiced, warming him from the inside out. They found a spot to sit on one of the benches that lined the square, watching as the festival continued around them. The sun had risen higher in the sky, casting a golden glow over the town, and the leaves swirled in the gentle breeze like confetti. The sound of laughter and music filled the air, and for a moment everything felt perfect, like a scene out of a postcard, too beautiful to be real. Elliot glanced at Lily, who was sipping her cider and gazing out at the festival with a contented smile on her face. "Do you ever get tired of it?" he asked, suddenly. "Living here, I mean, the same festivals, the same people, the same routines?" Lily looked at him, her expression thoughtful. "No," she said after a moment. "I don't think I could ever get tired of it. There's something comforting in the familiarity. It's not about the things staying the same. It's about the way they change with the seasons. Every year is a little different, a little more meaningful. It's like the town has its own rhythm, and once you fall into it, you realize there's a lot of beauty in the things that seem simple on the surface." Elliot considered her words, feeling them settle in his mind like the leaves that drifted gently to the ground. He had spent so much of his life chasing after the next big thing, the next success, the next goal. But here, in this small town, with its traditions and its simple joys, he was starting to see there was value in slowing down, in being present, in appreciating the beauty of the everyday. "Maybe I'll find that rhythm one day," he said quietly, more to himself than to Lily. Lily smiled softly, her eyes warm with understanding. "I think you're already starting to." They sat in comfortable silence for a while, watching as the townspeople continued to enjoy the festival. The children, now wearing their leaf crowns, paraded around the square, their laughter ringing out over the music. The vendors called out to passerby, offering samples of their goods, and the scent of freshly baked bread and roasted chestnuts filled the air. Elliot felt a sense of peace settle over him, a feeling he hadn't experienced in a long time. It wasn't the excitement or the adrenaline rush he had once thrived on in the city. It was something deeper, more grounded. It was the quiet joy of being in a place that felt right, with people who made it feel like home. The festival began to wind down as the afternoon sun dipped lower in the sky, casting long shadows across the square. The vendors started packing up their booths, and the children, now tired from their day of excitement, clung to their parents as they headed home. Elliot and Lily stood from the bench, tossing their empty cider cups in the trash. "Thanks for showing me around today," Elliot said, his voice sincere. "I had a great time." "I'm glad you came," Lily replied, her smile warm, "and I'm glad you're starting to see what makes this place special." They walked side by side through the now quieting square, the autumn leaves crunching under their feet. As they reached the edge of the festival, where the road split off toward their respective homes, Lily paused. "See you tomorrow?" she asked, her eyes hopeful. Elliot smiled. "Yeah, see you tomorrow." With a final wave, Lily turned and headed down the road, her figure slowly disappearing into the golden light of the setting sun. Elliot stood there for a moment watching her go, feeling the weight of the day settle in his chest. He had come to Willow Creek searching for something, maybe peace, maybe a sense of belonging, but as he walked back to his farmhouse, the fading light casting everything in a warm glow, he realized that maybe it wasn't him searching for a place at all. Maybe it was him searching for a person. And maybe, just maybe, he might have found her. If you like this chapter, please leave a like and comment. Don't forget to share and follow, and stay tuned for Chapter 6 of Autumn's Embrace.